Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are live. We are live. We are live. Views and Dues, week 4. We got the crew with us. Views from the 22. The Scene. We live. It's Sunday morning. It's week 4. It's October, which means Halloween is approaching, which means spooky season is here, which means we're about to see some spooky football because things tend to get a little weird the more football data we collect. Right now, some things are a little overinflated. And then throughout the season, things kind of get worked out as the universe tends to unfold as it should. Shout out to Thanos. Vic Jr., DVR's Trav, and True Man False World is somewhere in the building. Fellas, we got a lot to get into. We got a lot to talk about. Go around the horn real quick as I'm about to share the link on the Facebook group. Join us on the Facebook group, Views from the 22 on Facebook. Vic, talk to the people.
Yeah, man. Week 4, Sunday morning. You know, waking up a little bit, getting the blood flowing earlier. Little physical exercises that I been wanting to get into for a while. Starting to kick that back up, ramp that back up a little bit. It feels good to get the blood flowing in the morning, folks. So if you can do that, regardless of what day it is, always do it. Have some faith in yourself. As we welcome here the quarterback, Myron Ball U. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Appreciate the support that we get. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the pages. Much love, man. Just ready to talk about it.
You're on mute, fam. You're on mute.
MJ, talk to the people. How you feeling, fam? I thought you was gonna read lips, because you just watch so much film. I thought you could just execute it.
I've been in the lab, something crazy. Unfortunately, not for football. So my picks are ass. So don't listen to me until I lock in. All right. Anywho, I feel great, man. I had to punish Coco. She's been a bad girl, but she gonna learn. She's gonna get better from it. Hopefully, that's just where we're at in life. So other than that, I got my pina colada drink. Teflon MJ, that's what I am, man. Ain't nothing gonna break me. Ain't nothing gonna, penetrate my spirit. Teflon.
No animals or people were hurt during the production of this Views and Dues Week 4 edition. True Man False World in the classroom. What we doing in the classroom, Jerm?
It's football in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, good morning, man. Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful football morning. Hey, man, I got some things on my mind today, man. I'm just ready to talk about these. I'm ready to talk about these.
Me too. Trav, you ready to roll?
Yes, sir. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Waiting on 7:20 Central to come. See the scene of the crime. Everything like that. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, good morning to everybody.
Yes, sir.
And I hate London football. I ain't gonna lie. I hate it.
I hate Thursday football. I hate London football.
London football and injury reports are not a good mix. So other than that, man, let's get this show going, Mo Schefter. Let's get this
I may be in the minority on this, but I think the NFL has done a fairly good job with scheduling teams properly in order to get the London games going. And I think more and more players are starting to enjoy it because they get that bye week right after. So because of that, I'm a little more supportive of the London games more than the Thursday night games. Thursday night games, I'm indifferent about. I am 100% agree with Vic, but I also get why Thursday night football works. London, I enjoy it. Let's get to what we got to get to. We're going to start off with something a little serious, okay? The Dolphins ended up firing the independent doctor, neurologist, whatever, for the whole Tua thing, okay? So I wish I would have went live when I wanted to go live earlier this week about it, because that dude should have been fired. Not only should he be fired, Mike McDaniel should be fired, and the athletic training staff should be fired for a number of reasons. There was just negligence all across the board there. I don't care. First of all, the whole head injury, then revises to the hip injury, that is suspect beyond belief. Like, I can't believe they would go that far and think that we could just be that stupid with it, but whatever. Then what the worst part of all this, aside from the actual danger that they put Tua in, the worst part of all this was the head coach coming out with that, oh my God, with that half-assed, half-sentimental, lazy statement, explanation,
Like he about to
apology.
cry.
I don't know what the hell he wanted to call it. But
Like
all I'm
he's about
telling
to
you,
cry.
bruh, listen, I have seen better acting on Brazzers. I will say that. What? We you know how we bring it. You know how we bring it. That was horrible. And the worst part of all this is if I am Stephen Ross, if I am the owner of the Miami Dolphins, that dude cannot lead my football team. No way, no how. I am not going to let that man lead 53 men to anything. He needs to go immediately. The athletic trainer needs to go as well. It was a whole mess, and they really did put Tua in a very dangerous situation. I saw somebody on Twitter repost something from a specific analyst saying that the teammates should also be to be blamed. There is no way, no how I'm blaming any of his teammates or Tua himself. You cannot condemn a soldier for wanting to stay in the fight. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go around the horn on this. Vic, kick us off. Or MJ, we got coach, we got athletic trainer, so either one of you.
All right, so go Vic, because you know football. I was gonna be on some ignorant stuff. So you go first.
No, I mean it's just there's so many things to start with here. You know, first and foremost, you said that the neurologist was fired by the Dolphins. If he's independent, wouldn't that be NFL firing him? You know, the league. You know that
the Dolphins.
Okay, so the Dolphins fire him. Well, anyway,
yeah. I
mean, listen, that again, you know, for years I've been complaining about the Thursday games. You know, in this specific situation, what if it had played a factor? Maybe not. Maybe he would have had 3 extra days to recover from whatever injury supposedly he had on Sunday. You know what I mean? So that's 3 days that he had to recover. You know, whether it's the nerves, whether it's the cluster of nerves that we have in our spine, that's connecting to his head, to his cranium, things like that. Whatever it was, those 3 extra days are very important. So that for me, again, just continues to be a factor. I understand the business aspect of it, but again, the product is the most important part of the sport, and the product is the players. You know, the players need to be protected. When it comes to Tua's situation specifically, this is a player that is very small. Now, we do have a lot of small quarterbacks in this league, but there's something about Tua when I look at him. He's a very tight player. He seems to be very tight in his hips, very tight in his shoulders. So when you grab him like that, and you're about 6'3", 300 pounds or whatever this guy was, and you could just whip him like that, I mean, that's whiplash right there. That is worse. They said that it can be worse than being in a car accident.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So the way he's just such a tight player. He doesn't look like he knows how to brace himself. Okay, this is not something you can teach. You can't just teach kids every day and practice how to brace themselves for contact. Maybe you could to a certain extent, but not to that level. So you see it before he gets thrown. He kind of like he fakes like he wants to like get a flag or something, and that extra whiplash, it was a wrap. So again, when it comes to him, you know, this is a situation where he may need to sit back with his family, and I hate that I have to say this publicly, but really consider what he wants to do for his future. You know what I mean? Like, it's I mean that's stuff that I would sit down and talk to my family about. Okay, because we've had a lot of young players reconsider what they want to do in the as part of their career. Andrew Luck comes to mind. Patrick Willis
Definitely.
comes to mind. There's plenty of names. So
Yeah.
It's just a lot of things that like I said, just come to my mind when it comes to this. I look at it from the physical standpoint, from the actual on-field standpoint, from the player standpoint, because I've had experience with the players and stuff like that. So anyway, you can go ahead, MJ.
Got it. First and foremost, kudos to you for how you actually broke down the science of why that was such a horrendous situation for him. So I appreciate you for educating the viewers who may or may not think about that portion. And that's the part I want to talk about, is the human element of this game.
Right.
I'm gonna try not to get on my soapbox because the thought of it still pisses me off.
Right.
Everything is just so analytical. Everything is just so, we're just trying to get this done. Bottom line, point A, point B, that we took the human element out of the game.
Right.
My good friend Mo just said that he's seen better acting than Brazzers, which I understand because a lot of people is getting screwed because of, including Tua. So
Bars.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, it's like, this is not Varsity Blues and you're not Val Kilmer, bro. This is week 3. Y'all already
Yes.
you already betting with the house's money.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take you probably 9, maybe 10 games to get yourself in the wild card. Play chess, not checkers. And yes, I know as a player, you're always going to want to be there. You're going to say and do whatever you got to do to be on the field if you're a real competitor. My job is to save yourself. That's my job. And that's the part of the game that we are running away from, is the human element of the game. I have to save you from you. Of course you're going to say you're fine. It's been times I've had separated ribs, hurt knee, all of that, like buckled my knee in to where it bent the other way inside. And I still was out there playing. And I wish somebody would have saved me from myself, but they didn't. Luckily, nothing, got worse. But as a competitor, you're going to want to play. It is the coaches and the doctor's job to be able to say, you know what? That last thing that just happened on Sunday, and we turned it around in 3 or 4 days, how about you sit this one out? We trust our game plan. We trust our system.
Right.
If we lose, this is not going to be a dictation of how our season is going to go. The first 4 games means nothing in the NFL unless you go 0-4. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
You're
100%.
already 2-0. 3-0, right? You were 3-0, actually.
They were 3-0.
So you're 3-0.
So at worst, it'd be 3-1. Right.
So you're 3-0 with the best rated and most total yards you have from your quarterback. You still have the same weapons, in which you have a backup quarterback who used to start, who can handle those same weapons. It won't be as the same, but you will still get continuity because you built the system. This is where you have to be able to just look at it and be like, you know what? What are we trying to do here? Because guess what? After the end of Thursday, you were still 3-1, and now you're missing your quarterback. Congratulations.
Played yourself.
Jeremy, you want to jump in on this? You on mute, bro.
So here's the true part of the false world, right? The false world in this situation is this false sense of security, quote unquote, that the players are supposed to have with the training staffs and everything else like that. This is a situation where this is a reoccurring issue, in my opinion. There's always something going on, because at the end of the day, there are still human beings operating on other human beings. So let's start there. So we already got an imperfect game, then we got an imperfect process. The next part of this that I think is the most interesting is, we talk about Tua and we talk about him being small. We could talk about all those different things. I think the biggest issue here that I have with the NFL is not only just the Thursday game. not only just the short recovery times, but also is the revenue more important than the safety of the product? You have to something. I'm gonna use a Grease reference from back in the day when homeboy from a T-Bird says, "I got a rep to protect." When you say you got a rep to protect, well, the representation of the NFL is the players. So if you don't protect the representation of the NFL, which is the players, the quarterback, El Capitan, the most important position in all of professional sports, then what position are you protecting?
That's great points, dog.
So, and this is the thing: whether you high or you're low on a player, the one thing that has to be consistent is this, and we have to be consistent be consistent in all things in life, because consistency is the key to sustaining anything. The consistency here in the NFL state is, number one, we have to get out of our own way, and we have to start saying that we need help, and we need to figure out a better process. Due process means if a person has sustained a concussion, they shouldn't be able to participate in anything for at least a 7-day time span. It shouldn't be no situation where it's, oh, well, we're going to have this Thursday game, and as long as you clear with this matter, no, I need 7 days I need a full 7 days for a concussion protocol. And you need to be able to expand the 53-man roster because we've already expanded the games by a week. So we need to expand the roster. So I need a better concussion protocol, number one, at least 7 days. I don't care. See, if one game is the make or break of your season, maybe your team shouldn't be in the postseason anyway.
And we talked about it too. We talked about it too after that agreement situation. Like, if you were going to add another game, why didn't we add 10 more players to the roster?
And Vic, here's the thing. Watch this. 17 weeks we talk about for a season, all right? So the 17 weeks that we talk about, a 53-man roster, in my humble opinion, I think that the roster should be at least 60 players.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why I think 60 players, at least, even for 16 games. Because at least, number one, you never know when somebody's going down from special teams. Special teams is one thing that we know for sure is a guaranteed car crash every single time, which is why they took away the wedge. They took away things to try to make and enhance and preserve the lifespan of a special teams player. So you already know that there's a chance you're going to lose 2 or 3 guys at least at any point in the season just off special teams alone. Offensive line. Your offensive line and your defensive line are the players that get rolled up on the most. Why? Because they're in the scrum. They're in the field. For all my people out there, for all my guys out there, we in the field, baby. We're in the middle. There is no reason why that you're not expanding the roster so that you can have at least 10 offensive linemen in rotation. You should be able to have at least 10. That means not 8, not 7, 10 people, 2 tackles, 2 guards, 2 centers, 2 other guards, 2 tackles. Period, bro. There's no excuse for that. Depth should be the biggest thing in this league. Let's just say for the sake of football, that there are 10,000 players in the NFL because we include the practice squads. You mean to tell me with these 10,000 players that we have, you mean to tell me that's not more than enough players for us to be able to make sure that we have depth across the league, make sure that everybody has adequate health and preserve the health of our players? Come on, man. What we're doing right now is we're making the money be a bigger part of the game than what we need to make it a part of. Safety has to prevail somewhere. And if safety does not prevail, you won't have a game to watch because ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Bob. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Robert Kraft, unless it's the strippers. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Jimmy Haslam. Unless it's the people from the tax rate. Ain't nobody coming to see you. Oh yeah, it's that type of energy today. Ain't nobody coming to see y'all. They coming to see the players. So if you don't protect the product, you therefore should not have the said product. You therefore should not be a steward of the product or a stewardess of the product. You should not reap the benefits of having such a product. And there it lies the issue that we have with the NFL. And Mo, I know that you probably can. I like the point that you made. That you feel like Mike, the coach should be fired. But here's the thing about the coach. The coach doesn't really look like he's in tune with reality. So in that particular situation, when you look at him on a Sunday on the sideline, he looks like he's in the
No.
freaking Twilight Zone. And I hate to say it that way. And that doesn't mean he's a good or a bad coach. But I just want to say, like, this is a Dolphins team that has more things circling around that organization than a little bit. And it's already got a class action suit against them. And then you come back and you put this, that means that's negligence from every level of the organization, every single level. And that also from the next perspective, on top of the negligence there, we still have to go to the fact that if it's negligence at every level of the organization, maybe it's time we put C4 on that shit and we blow it up.
But that means you will require a person who is stuck in traditioning and old thinking to have to think new. And how often is that really going to happen?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That league is notorious and prominent for treating their players like damaged goods or goods.
Right.
That's how they treat them.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, I think it's amazing to see how this conversation kind of evolved from the football side of it to the safety side of it to the business side of it to the societal side of it. So that's what we do here. We covered all angles at the scene, just so y'all know.
You know what? Though, this is what happens when you gamble. You roll a snake eye. And that's what happened. You lost the game and you lost your number one draft pick. You lost a lot. Thank you, Dolphins, for the content. But this is, to be honest, this ain't the content that we really want to cover like that. But thank you.
No, it's not. But it is. Sometimes things need to happen in order to uncover what's really happening.
True.
And I think what you see with the NFL is when this thing first happened was after the concussion lawsuit settlement. Tell the truth. After that settlement happened, you saw the NFL really take, even though it was reactive, they wanted us all to believe it was a proactive. And whatever, we'll give it to them because they've gotten a little better over the years. But as anything goes, eventually the leniency bar will drop. And once that drops, you start to see certain things uncovered. You start to see certain characteristics of men revealed. And that's what I think happened in Miami. But make no mistake about it, while we holding Miami's feet to the fire, because they are the ones who ultimately committed the sin, it does not mean that there are others who are committing the same sin. And it does not mean that we can just stand here and just say, oh, well, this is an anomaly. This is a 1 out of 32 thing. It certainly is not that. And now the NFL is adjusting and going through different protocols or whatever. They're going to say the right things. $1 billion corporation like that, they're going to say the right things.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking for $1 billion corporations, Stephen Ross, the billionaire, cannot afford to have these type of things coming out from his house. So if it was me, personally, I am letting go everybody involved before the NFL tells me anything. Because it is the bottom line best for my business, and that's what I would do.
Quick update. Saints have actually scored about 10 unanswered points. It's 22-19. Vikings have the ball on Minnesota 43 in this 3rd and 4. It looks like Andy Dalton is starting to deal a little bit. Taysom Hill got a touchdown for all you fantasy people. Shouts out to She knows. She know who she is. I told her to pick up Taysom Hill because some idiot decided to drop him. And since I'm not in fantasy league, I just consult now. Word to the wise, you guys. Don't drop a high pick in your first 4 weeks. What are you doing? Don't be thirsty. Just
right.
Neither here nor there. But I wanted to just.
Well, I am watching the game, though. That's why I keep looking up, because usually I have nothing on, but there's a game on.
London, baby.
Ooh, Justin Jefferson on a 1st and 10 just dropped an out route ball. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now for Minnesota, 22-19. Saints, as MJ said, 10 unanswered points. 2nd and 10 now. We will keep you updated. But the Vikings seem like they're marching right now.
Shout out to the folks that we have watching us right now, Jeff brought up a good point real quick about the Dolphins. So MJ, not only they were 3-0 at the time, but they had 2 division wins against the Patriots and against the Bills at the time.
Right, the two toughest teams in your division.
Yeah,
You took care of business already. What are we doing?
yeah. Great point by Jeff. Shout out to Jeff who supports a lot too.
And as a coach, and I don't even the sport that I coach is not even nearly as physical as football. As a coach, if you're on my team, I believe you're a weapon. If I don't utilize that weapon and I lose, I got that regret.
Yeah.
So you got 53 people on your roster, you're not using all of your weapons. If you're not preparing your weapons to be able to be next man up, you're the problem. But guess what? It's hard to do that when you have people who are not used to actually playing the game and understanding the psychological and the human element, and you replace it with people who just look at everything as X's and O's and numbers and movable parts. This is what you get.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the football side of it. So we really, me and Jeremy were talking before the game. We got a lot of good games on the menu, but the problem with today is we have 2 extremely exciting games. Like, we got 2 games that are January games, that are February games, and then the rest of them really aren't on that level. So we're gonna warm up to those games. So instead of doing heavy and then rapid fire, we're gonna kind of go at a quicker pace, and we're gonna mix those 2 games in there. Obviously, those 2 mixed games are Buffalo versus Baltimore, Josh Allen versus Lamar, and then the Sunday night you got Tampa, you got KC, you got Brady, you got Mahomes. It's gonna be a hell of a dogfight. You got Brady, his arsenal is coming back, so that's gonna be fantastic to watch. I'm sure he's gonna unload enough clips for the Chiefs tonight.
Omaha.
Light bar. Yeah, light. Very light, Vic. Very light. Very light.
Omaha.
Very light. All right, you got the Washington. You know what? I ain't even going to say their name. You got FC Washington versus the Dallas Cowboys. Over-under in this game is 41, with the Cowboys being a 3-point favorites. Wes Schweitzer, he's out, ironically, with a concussion there. I'm not going to commend Washington for doing something proper because they have done enough bad themselves in the football sins world. But for the Cowboys, first of all, Michael Gallup is expected to make his season debut, but he is going to be on a limited snap count. From what we understood, is just really a mental hurdle for Michael Gallup coming off of surgery. So, keep an eye out for that. Cooper Rush, man, it's kind of a similar thing with what happened a few years ago with Nick Foles and Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz. Like, when Carson Wentz went out the second time, Doug Peterson went back to an efficient offense. He went back to an efficient style of football. He went back to a basic, smart understanding of utilizing his personnel properly. Now that Dak is out, we are seeing that in Dallas. I know, MJ. We are seeing that in Dallas where this is what this offense is supposed to look like. It doesn't matter because Dak thrives under this. We have seen Dak thrives under this. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And Cooper Rush is it's his 7th year in the league. So at some point he's gonna look more than okay. And if you have the proper people around him, he might look above okay. And now this offensive line looks a little more not so frantic, not so unorganized. They still got ways to go before they can, return to that dominance that we know from the trenches of the Cowboys. But certainly seems like over these last few weeks, like this is what you want to see from Dallas moving forward, even when Dak comes back. So MJ, I see you in the corner ready to throw. I'll let you kick off the conversation on this game.
We're going to be quick because we in our 4-minute offense. This game is a conference game in the NFC East, but from the looks of it, it's very early. I think the Eagles are going to end up, winning that division. They're clicking on all cylinders. And you know why they're clicking on all cylinders? Because they are making sure that all 11 people are playing on one accord and they're playing as a team. Here is the problem that I have when the sport becomes a business and it's not just fundamentals. Because Dak got paid a lot, you automatically assume he needs to throw 45 times. The offensive line automatically assumes that they only have to do this type of blocking scheme because we know he's going to throw 45 times. Yet you have Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, who everybody keeps saying Ezekiel Elliott is washed. I'm just simply saying he only gets the ball 9 times, and it's very hard to do anything with 9 carries a game. So
Thank you.
it's just hard. Like, if you gave me 5 shots a game, I'd probably hit 2 of them, and you would think I can't shoot. Give me 15, I might hit 11 of them bitches. It's not hard to put together. This is not hard. All right? And no matter what y'all want to do with this game, we have seen this game do all sorts of things. You know, flood patterns, stunts, RPOs, all sorts of things. It still ain't nothing going to do anything as far as when you have beef up front and you can hand that ball off and get 4 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry, 7 yards a carry, and you wear them big dudes down to where that pass rush is nothing. Why does it take for you to get your quarterback injured to play that way? It's crazy to me.
It sounds so simple, right? It sounds so basic and simple.
But it's not simple because in your mind, like, well, you're getting paid $235 million, so you should be able to make this play. No, you're paying him $235 million to play football the right way, and when it's time for him to make a play, he makes the play.
Right.
And it's ironic because the teams that have won the last 3 Super Bowls, they play that way. And yet, even though it's a copycat league, nobody has ever grabbed. That's neither here nor there. I got the Cowboys winning because they're playing football the right way. Carson Wentz still figuring out his team and figuring out a lot of other things. And, you know, I mean, Washington Commanders as a whole, their organization from top to bottom is just suspect. Sorry, Joe, they are. It is what it is.
Right.
So, yeah, give me the Cowboys.
Vic, as everybody knows, running back is near and dear to your heart. The running game in general, the offensive line, of course. And we know that when you believe in that, there is an identity. You have to believe in that identity. You have to believe that you are that type of culture of a team because it only raises confidence.
Yeah, you know, I've had beef with the Cowboys for years now. You know, tired of the culture, tired of the way they manage, tired of the way they coach. You go from Jason Garrett, who ended up being one of the worst coaches in the history of this league, to Mike McCarthy, who is a Super Bowl champion, but I got some beef with him too. All of a sudden, Cooper Rush is your quarterback, MJ, and your running backs got 254 yards on 55 carries when Cooper Rush is starting for you. All of a sudden, you're running the ball more, and you're doing more play action off of the run game. All of a sudden, your running back, who is, you know, Ezekiel Elliott has never been the most explosive running back. What made Ezekiel great was because he went through the process of track and field. So he knew how to use his stride lengths. He knew how to run. He knew how to keep his feet short and short aerial quickness. And then when he was gone, those strides got longer. Okay, he's a great running back. Use him as a running back, as the physical running back that he is now. So he might have lost a step, but he's gonna run some people over. When he finds a gap, he will get you 10 yards. So Zeke should be getting 15 carries, with Pollard getting another 12, and your running backs averaging about 30 touches a game. I think it's so simple, yet we have a situation where it's not only for the Cowboys, but many other teams. So with that being said, because I could go all freaking day long, I got the Cowboys in this game because just like MJ said, I mean, he knows his damn football. They're going to run the football. They got Cooper. They're going to run the football, and they're going to pass off of it. And right now, the Commanders, as good as Wentz has been in a couple games, they're still trying to figure some things out. So the Cowboys should be able to handle this game today.
No doubt. I'm going to go ahead and just make my pick now as well before I give it to Jerm and Trav. I'm going to go with the Cowboys for all the reasons Vic said and everything that MJ pointed out. Cowboys should win this game pretty handily. Jerm?
I'm just going to pick the Cowboys.
Okay. Trav?
I agree with the board, man. The whole board is Cowboys, man.
Got you. Next game on the docket, you got the Seattle Seahawks going to the Detroit Lions. Over-under in that game is 47.5, and the Seahawks are 3.5-point underdogs, road underdogs, that is. And, it's one of those games where, okay, Detroit should win this game. But you look at the injury report, they're missing DeAndre Swift, St. Brown, the young kid, Josh Reynolds, and DJ Chark. So that's really a lot of the guys that they're missing, especially DeAndre Swift, who has been a huge part of their early success because of his contribution in the run game. Ironic. I'm going with Seattle. They've been playing hard, and I just think Detroit is not that type of team that can overcome all these injuries. Still should be a good game. I'm going to take Seattle with the points. That's my official pick. But I'm also thinking that Seattle will win this game for the pick'em purposes of our show. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, even TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, had a foot injury. He was in and out of practice this week too. So, I mean, yeah, this is an offense that clearly is going to be hobbled. Again, this is a team that's young offensively. I love what they're doing offensively with them. Campbell has done a great job. They look prepared. They look, hungry. They look physical. You know what I mean? So, like, they're young. They might not have all the talent that we need, but they're well-coached football team. It is going to be tough because of all these injuries. So I guess I'll go Seahawks as well, slightly, but I expect it to be a fight as well.
Right. Like I said, my official pick is Seattle with the points. MJ?
Because of what we just talked about with Miami, about an organization not doing it the right way, I am going to say that the Lions are going to win because guess what? They have injured players and they put them on the injury report. I believe that the next man up is going to step up. This is a well-coached football team from top to bottom. The head coach, the coordinators, they get it because they're former players and they are protecting these players and they are loving on these players. And even the guys on the bench feel involved. And I think those guys are hungry to where if they get opportunities, it's going to be some dudes that you may not know their name that's going to make a name for themselves today. And I'm going to go with the Lions at home.
Facts. The Lions definitely give off that energy. These with the new regime they got over there. Trav?
I'm gonna go Seattle with this one. I'm gonna go Seattle. Rashad Penny, the number 14 for Seattle. You got Geno gonna give him the ball, man. Give me Seattle, man. Give me Seattle.
Oh, absolutely. Germ?
This is a hard pick right here. And I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting. Jamal Williams is a very, very capable running back, and I'm not sure if Seattle's defense is one that's going to be able to stop him today. But also, the most underrated part of this is Josh Reynolds is a very, very capable player to give a lot of issues to that Seattle secondary.
Well, he's out.
Where Josh Reynolds is too?
St. Brown, Swift, Josh Reynolds, and DJ Chark.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Reynolds.
Yeah.
My God, that's your top 3 receivers.
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah. That's why I picked Seattle.
But you know why it's still hard? Because this could be that game that Jared Goff shows us why he got to the Super Bowl. You know what? Give me Seattle today. And I'm going to take the under. I actually expect this to be a dogfight.
Oh, definitely.
I'm interested to see. It's one key factor. I want to see how Detroit secondary is starting to build upon all of this draft capital and all of these things that they put into it, because you've invested into some of these positions. Let's see some of this stuff start to pan out. Give me Seattle today, Mr. 1 cent, please.
Next game on the docket, Trav, you picked Seattle, right? Yeah. Next game on the docket, you got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. Real simple for me here. No Bosa, no Keenan Allen. Bosa done for the year. Keenan Allen hasn't played since week 1 with a hamstring injury. The longer he stays out, the better. Because with hamstrings, it's like a groin injury. There's just really no way to tell when it's actually getting better. Right. So the longer he stays out, hopefully the better for them as they plan to make a deep run into January. But either way, I still think they should win this game. Lovie Smith has this team as the Texans competing very hard every week. So I think it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think it's going to be an easy win, but I do expect the Chargers to win. Give me the Chargers 26-20. Vic?
I'm going against them, bro. Because you know who else? You know who else is out? The left tackle. The left tackle is out for the Chargers.
Oh, he is out.
The Texans right now are 4th in the league in sacks with 10.
Okay.
The secondary is 2nd in the league right now.
Okay.
As well, they've been playing really good football. So without Keenan Allen, without the Rashawn Slater, your left tackle, very young, amazing tackle, not available either. The Chargers, just the inconsistencies. Again, I love Herbert, one of my favorite pet cats coming out of these recent drafts. But the Chargers are just not. This is something about that franchise too, man. When it comes to their injuries and stuff like that too. Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans to be one of those teams to just shock us for this week and win a football game.
Yeah. Okay, MJ.
This is a trap game. Do not bet on it. Let me just say that right now. Do not bet on it. It's a trap game. With that, I think the Chargers will have enough to pull it out, but it's not going to be a blowout game. It is going to be a back and forth. Herbert is going to have to be very patient in that cover two that Lovely is going to run. That front four is going to get pressure, and they're going to be able to drop back 7, which is tough to deal with when you can get pressure in your front four and you're able to still sit in the zone and play a bend and don't break style. But I think Herbert, this is going to have to be the game in which he shows that he can win in the mud. This is going to have to be the game where he is going to be calm under chaos. This is going to have to be the game that he is going to have to show patience. Unfortunately, last week, Pat Mahomes failed his test. Will Herbert pass his this week? Because it's the same situation. And ironically, it's against the same division. So I'm going to go with the Chargers. I am not comfortable with that pick, but I will go with the Chargers anyway.
Jerm, anything? Jerm?
So I'm gonna give y'all something really interesting, right? So I'm looking at the Texans defense, right? From a yard standpoint, they give up yards. They're gonna give up some yards here. But you want to know where you beat the Texans? You run the ball.
Cover 2. That's always
It's
been a love.
it's not even, but it's not just that. What I'm looking at here is on average right now, they're giving up about 200 yards a game on the ground. So if you're giving up 200 yards a game on the ground, even with it being cover 2, MJ, which is a part of the reason, but the other part is it shows that you're not a very good team where up the middle. You're not really stout on the defensive line. So with all of the pressure that they're getting, the Chargers don't run the ball enough.
Right.
Oh my God. And that's
they have the skills up front to be a physical running football team.
Well, not only just that, right? Don't they got 4 running backs?
Yeah.
One of them is Eckler.
Listen, give me the Texans, man. Just give me the Texans, man. I quit.
Trav?
Quit.
I'm surprised.
I mean, with Vic talking about the 10 sacks and stuff, and MJ talking about the patience of Herbert, I want to know how many screenplays not San Diego, but the Chargers will run.
Right.
That's what I want to see. I'm gonna pick the Chargers today, especially on that left side.
Yeah.
I want to see how many screenplays the Chargers and how many runs to the right and how many screenplays the Chargers run to set up everything. So I'm picking the Chargers today.
We ready. All right. First main event time. We warmed up. The juices are flowing, in the words of Vic Jr. Let's get rolling. You got the Buffalo Bills going to the Baltimore Ravens. You got the no slander on Lamar crew versus Kevin Watson and them. This is going to be a great game. Over under is 50. Buffalo -3 favorites. Germ, before you go, Ronnie Stanley is out. Take it away.
First and foremost, let's start at the top. Oh, y'all didn't. Whew. All right. So everybody in the world right now is currently saying all of these different things. Today, I am here to debunk all theory and to give you all fact. That is where we are. That's why we in the classroom, because today we schooling folks. Now, I heard that the Baltimore Ravens offensive line has regressed. Well, what if I told you that Lamar Jackson is currently 3rd in the NFL for the most time to throw, behind Daniel Jones and Justin Fields. That's a telling stat. That tells me that he has time to throw. He's at 3 seconds. The lowest person on this totem pole is somebody that we'll discuss later. And that is going to be another telling sign that we'll talk about later. With that being said, we got another thing that is very, very interesting here. Total defense. You got this Buffalo defense, right? This Buffalo defense that looks like it is good everywhere. Well, it is. It's good everywhere. Number one, not only are they the defensive leaders with the yards per game at 214 yards per game right now currently, but they're also top 3 in sacks. And most importantly, the offensive side of the ball, they don't turn it over. And then to make matters even worse, they're about 6 or 7 yards off per game as the offensive leaders, while Baltimore is 4th at 380. I think the biggest thing and the biggest telltale sign here is Buffalo, fellas, is averaging over 112 yards a game on the ground. Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear what I said?
Yeah. Unfortunately, just 50.
No, and MJ, MJ, but here's the good thing. It shows progress because that 112 yards, they're getting explosive plays out of the run game in certain situations. I seen Zach Moss last week. I seen a big play the week before. I seen Singletary with a big play week 1. So I'm starting to see some things where the offensive line in certain situations. And Vic, you know, the play that I'm thinking that is very, very vital for them is going to be the trap play. I'm saying that because getting those interior linemen moving, pulling guards, let's hit you right in the A gaps. Those are going to be the plays and the telltale plays for this Buffalo team. Now, the Ravens. Everybody is all in all about the touchdowns and everything else. But the biggest thing right now for the Ravens is going to be, how do you go at this Josh Allen-led team? Tua gave y'all problems when y'all did y'all blitzes and everything else. His ability to step up in the pocket or step to the left. Josh Allen can take off and do the same thing. So now that takes away some of those things that you're going to be able to do with the blitz. The key element of this game is going to be the secondary play of Buffalo. Because if Buffalo gets pressure, Buffalo is one of those teams that does have the athletes on that side of the ball with Von Miller, with AJ Espanza, with all of the guys they have on that defensive line to make this a very, very long afternoon for Lamar. Here's one more stat that I want y'all to know. The Ravens running back, Justice Hill, last week averaged 10 yards a carry. Guess how many carries he had?
5.
6. Almost, MJ. 6 carries. Lamar is leading the team again in rushing. Why? You're cruising for a bruising. I'm still keeping my Grease theme because Grease is the word. It's the word. And at the end of the day, you got to understand, you can't have your quarterback leading you in rushing yards and rushing attempts. There is no excuse. Baltimore has 10 running backs in that room. They have 10. You got to run the football with other players outside of Lamar Jackson. If you do that, you'll be in a good spot. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick now. I don't think that this Ravens team is as good as people think it is. And I've been saying that every week. Last week, we got some turnovers that helped them out. Good job. Kudos to them. They're 2-1. I'm taking Buffalo. Buffalo, you got to bounce back. And this is why I'm taking Buffalo. If Buffalo loses today, this is going to tell me more about who Buffalo is and them being imaginary players more than they'll tell me anything about the Ravens.
I think
and Germ did.
To me, I everything Germ said, I'm going to say, but in reverse. Everything he said about Buffalo, I say about Baltimore. Everything he said about Baltimore, I'm saying about Buffalo. Because I think Buffalo's run game is hocus pocus, okay? I really do. I think as the year unfolds and there's more volume, it's going to trend in the opposite way. This 112 yards, in my humble opinion, is a little overinflated and misleading. Whereas Lamar, I think it is safe to say he is approaching a point where you could do everything right as a defense and he will still find ways to make a play. And he is now starting to make certain throws that I did not think he could make. So while it is important to call out the flaws, it is important-ter, yes, I said important-ter, grammar Nazis, it is important-ter to recognize the evolution, to recognize the progress, to recognize the improvements. Give me Baltimore in a statement win, Chief. Vic?
Hey, man, I mean, like Jerm said, this is a big game for the Bills. I think with the way they lost against the Dolphins last week, this is a game that if they're the Super Bowl team that I think they are, if Josh Allen is the MVP that I think he can be, they definitely need to win this game. You got a situation here where both quarterbacks account for 83% or more of their offensive yards. You know what I mean? So that, like, again, that's rushing, that's obviously passing. So, you know, these are very important players to these both teams, and got to keep them healthy. And how we're going to keep them healthy? We have to limit some of their runs. Now, yes, it's important that you get Lamar Jackson out in space. It's important that you get Josh Allen to be a little physical with the defense. But again, how many of that, you know, it's a balance. It's a balance that we need. I expect Stephon Diggs to have another big game today. I think the Baltimore secondary is just not going to be capable of carrying him. And Josh needs to get back to a little bit better accuracy, in which he did not show against the Dolphins last week. So, but give me the Bills. Give me the Bills to pull this game off. I just want to see a fight. I think it's going to be a good fight, but I'm hoping that the Bills pull it off.
Yeah, MJ.
Welcome to the Uses Race Super Bowl. Welcome.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
You got two quarterbacks that are literally responsible for 75% of the plays being made on their team. At some point, you have to understand the definition of greatness. There's two things that make a person great: the details that you put into your game and your ability to make somebody else's life easier. The reason why the guy who Jerm just mentioned, who only had 6 carries, averaged 10 per yards, because every time Lamar did that read option play, we are looking at number 8. We can give a fuck less about that other dude. And that is how you make somebody else's life easier because of your greatness. How consistent can Josh Allen or Lamar do that is going to determine whether or not they become a quarterback that is just regular season good versus a quarterback that is going to bring home one of these. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. And we have to hold them accountable for this, because unfortunately, with great talent and great abilities come great responsibilities. And always going to be a team sport. So how are you going to make and elevate those 11 people with the skill set that you have is going to determine how you're going to win this football game and how you're going to take the next level. Until you get to that point, we're going to continue to keep calling you out on what's going on. And this is not a slander to anybody. This is just simple, basic, fundamental football. It takes 53 men to win. If only one guy is doing all of the carrying and the other 10 are just kind of just watching it and playing the tambourine, your band is going to suck. That's simple. So with that,
that's simple. That's simple.
So with that, I'm going to go Baltimore because they're a better. They are a better regular season team, and that's literally the only reason why I'm going. But I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think it's going to be whoever gets the ball last. And if Lamar gets the ball last, he's going to make plays with his feet that he shouldn't make. And, you know, people are still going to give him love and give him credit. Shouts out to them. But just understand in January and February, not even February, in January, that will be taken away tenfold.
Yeah.
And until you're able to make somebody else's life easier and trust it at the biggest stage that you can trust it, you will continue to just be a regular season paper chat, a fantasy chat. Yeah. What it is.
Right. I mean, again, it's very similar to how the Colts were early on with Peyton Manning. It was just they're gonna be high flying, they're gonna break records, the whole nine, whatever. It's just not really going to translate to what it needs to translate to. And I think both these quarterbacks, ironically, Vic, have the same question mark over them. Even though I know you disagree with me on my stance about Josh Allen, but to me, I think both these quarterbacks have that question of, can they do what they do and be successful when it matters, or can they evolve their game to where it needs to be, where they can succeed when it matters? You want to jump in there?
Man, yeah. MJ and Vic, they took the whole scheme of what I was about to say. Bottom line, which quarterback is going to be that has the highest usage rate, that's going to be the safest? Both of them take beatings. They take beatings for that 75 and 80% usage of what they do. Who's going to be the safest? Who's going to be the most efficient? I got Buffalo in this one, though, man. Okay. I got Buffalo in this one.
Vic, who'd you pick?
Pick Buffalo.
Okay, so me and MJ picked Baltimore.
Yeah, it's more of the predicting they'll be in the Super Bowl and Josh being the MVP. So it's more of a little trying to be right kind of thing.
I still think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. But I think it's gonna be the wake up call.
It's gonna be a fight.
You can kind of see it.
To the Super Bowl.
You can kind of see it within Josh Allen. He's trying hard.
Let's leave it where we're gonna leave it at.
Yes.
2 minute style offense.
On record, I said they could. I didn't say they were.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm talking to Victor Santana.
Oh hell no!
If the Bills play the Broncos in January, the Broncos gonna whoop their ass.
What?
Yep.
I don't know, bro. Broncos team you thinking about?
The Broncos team. And listen,
20.
Call me now, okay? Don't call Vic. Call me now. You watch. You wait. You see.
Shout out to my boy. Right. They ain't good right
now. Let's go 2 minute style. And then we'll end things with the heavyweight matchup of the day. 2 minute offense. Omaha, set up. You got Tennessee versus the Colts. Over under in this game is 43. The Titans are 3.5 point underdogs. I know it's a road game, but the fact they are underdogs against this Colts team is more telling of Tennessee than it is of Indy, in my humble opinion. Darius Shaquille Leonard is questionable. I do believe I wrote down. Yeah, he is questionable for this game. So is DeForest Buckner. I expect both of them to play. Julian Blackman, however, the safety, he will not be playing, although the backup did step in and play pretty well last week. Either way, I still think Tennessee should win this game. Tennessee is a team that we expect to be there in late December fighting for playoff spots. I don't expect that from Indy, just being real. So give me Tennessee to win this game. I'm going to go 26-20 Tennessee. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, it is important if Buckner plays today. This is a Colts defense that's given up 2.6 yards per carry. Now, it is Derrick Henry on the other side, very physical, very big running back. But, like I said before, this is one of the most boring superstar running backs we've had in this league. This is a guy that needs a runway to get started. So if the Colts are able to keep things tight in the trenches, they might be able to contain them. So again, I think the team that runs the ball the best will win today, and I think Jonathan Taylor will have 150 yards minimum. I guess I'm hoping for that since I got him in 3 of my leagues, MJ. So give me some Jonathan Taylor today, and the Colts will run the ball the best today and win this football game.
Hey, listen, to your point about DeForest Buckner, he has only missed 1 game due to injury in his 7th season, so he will be playing. MJ?
Whoever reached 25 carries first between Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. I take it.
Well, whoever reached 25 carries first is going to win this game. And that's just where I'm at with it. So if you think Jonathan Taylor is going to reach 25, then they're going to win. If you think Derrick Henry is going to reach it, then they're going to win. You want to know why? Because if they don't reach that means the quarterback is throwing the football. And I don't trust either one of them quarterbacks throwing that football. So that's where I'm at with it.
That's facts.
Whoever is running that ball and moving the chains just off the run alone, in which they can set up the play action to be able to, make one of the 3 throws that they need to make for the game, is going to be the one that wins.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
If you are right about that, if that is exactly how it happens, and both teams execute it as they should, I'm more inclined to take Indy, believe it or not.
That's why I was going to pick Indy, because what Indy has done, I believe in momentum. I believe in a lot of things. Y'all just beat the Chiefs, so they were going to ride that high. They're going to be like, look, nobody believes in us, and we just beat the team that everybody is talking about is the one. We just beat them because we just stayed to fundamental football. We kept everything in front of us. We bent, but we did not break, and we had a quarterback that, no matter what you want to say about him, he made the right plays when we needed them. This is going to be our blueprint. If they believe that, I think they're going to win. Give me the Colts.
I dig it. I like it. Germ? Saints, Vikings won, by the way. But Germ?
You know what? I hate that I'm about to do this. Give me the Colts.
It makes sense. It makes sense. They've been playing the better football despite the tie.
But you know what the sad part is, though? This is the sad part. It has nothing to do with anything other than I think Vrabel may have lost his locker room at this stage, because I think Tennessee has progressively has gotten worse over the last 3 years.
Boy, that's a hard one. That's a hard
Bro,
one.
You know how, and I'm just saying
it's certainly
that,
up for debate. It's certainly.
I agree.
Because you know what? If you can tell, like, even the philosophy of the team, the Ryan Tannehill backing, the drafting of this young kid at quarterback that they got, Malik, whatever his last name is,
Malik Willis.
I just think all of that put together, the overextension of some of the players that they brought back, the letting go of some of the players that they let go of. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's starting to look like Vrabel is getting a little too big for his britches. So give me Frank Wright. Give me that running game. Give me Indy today.
Okay.
Dude, anything that Matt Ryan is a part of, I'm against it. It can be the stock market. It can be realtor. It can be anything. I'm not
You
right.
ain't if he touching it, you ain't.
You
know
would
it
not catch me on View for the 22 picking anything Matt Ryan is a part of. Man. Give me Tennessee, man.
I got you. Hey, you got the Bears, you got the Giants next, over under 38.5. The Giants, 3-point favorites. Sorry, the Giants have been playing good football, and the Bears are trying. Give me the Giants by 5. Vic.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that are running the ball very well. So if you got
David Montgomery is out though.
Oh, is he? Okay, so
yep.
There you go. Yeah, you got Herbert. So if you want to throw him into your lineups, these are two teams that have been running the football well. I expected it to be the same. Saquon has looked good, even though they're up and down with the consistency and how they use him again. Last week was just another example of how bad that is. But I expect them to run the football again today, and I'll go with the Giants in this game as well, at home. Especially.
I got you, MJ.
I call this the 3-0. That's what I call it. So in the 3-0, who's going to have the least 3 and outs? I think the Giants will have the least 3 and outs. So give me the Giants.
That's disrespectful, Jeremy.
Hey man, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something funny. Daniel Jones and Justin Fields both average over 3.5 seconds to throw the football. And ironically, they are two of the worst offensive teams we are watching in football.
The difference is the Bears didn't spend damn near half their salary cap on their wide receivers.
Wait. But it's just funny to me, though, that Daniel Jones has the longest to throw, and he can't throw never mind. Anyway, give me Give me New York.
Hey,
I'm gonna
man.
say this now. If you lose to Chicago this year, that means that defense shut you down, and that means that you let Justin Fields score 2 touchdowns on you. You should be ashamed. That offense is atrocious. Justin Fields looks atrocious. He's on that tier with Trey Lance right now. They got to do better.
But to your point about that defense, Leonard Williams and Zach Cunningham are out today.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Cunningham was the Titans. Sorry, just Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is out today. Trav?
You know how when you in school, like your child in school, and they talk about what level of reading they on? They like in the second grade, and you want them to be at least on a 3rd grade or a 4th grade level. Vic, your boy trying to read a little bit on 3rd grade level, man. He showed that the other night against Dallas, man. Saquon is actually doing pretty decent. I'm going with the Giants, man.
They gotta use him.
I'm going with the Giants.
They gotta use him. Next game on the docket, you got Jaguars, Eagles. I'm very simple here. I'm going Eagles. Jacksonville, however, has been playing really good football, including Trevor Lawrence, some involvement with the progression, with the completions, with the smart decision making, with the fundamentals. I want to talk about Trevor Lawrence. Maybe we'll leave that for tomorrow night. Either way, give me the Eagles. Give me Jalen Hurts. They are flying right now. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles to cover. I got the Eagles by 10. Vic?
Yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson does have Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence playing a little bit better. We definitely still got our questions about him, but again, he's still a young quarterback. Still has a chance to obviously develop into something. To what certain level will that be remains to be seen. But definitely, I mean, the Eagles just been too good, man. Jalen Hurts. I mean, all the talk about Josh Allen, which, I mean, that's a different level for me, but all the talk about Lamar Jackson and stuff like that, Jalen Hurts needs to be discussed as one of these quarterbacks that can be pushing for that top tier level. So, can he be consistent though? You still got a long season. You still got tougher defenses to come across. And I think the Jacksonville defense might. Yeah. Super. Jesus. Anyway, the Jaguars got a good young defense with speed. So let's see what the Eagles got for them today. I think it'll see if they should be able to go to 4-0 today. I got the Eagles.
We gotta go rapid fire. I got some breaking news. Go ahead, MJ.
Trap game. Give me the Jaguars. Actually, if Jaguars
I like it.
Stop Herbert, I think they can stop Hurts as well.
Germ.
Give me Duval County. One reason why. Do you know that the Jacksonville Jaguars are number 1 in the NFL with turnover differential?
I didn't know that.
They're winning the division too, by the way.
Let me get them raw. Let me get them Tigers. Raw, the Jaguars. Let me get them.
By default, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in that division. By default. Somebody got to win.
You might not be wrong. Somebody got to win. You might not be wrong.
That's
Shame
sad.
on Ryan Tannehill.
Yes. I'm gonna pick the Eagles, but this may be one of them humbling ass whoopings that the Eagles may need. But I'm picking.
All right. Jets at Steelers. Quite simply, I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. I know Zach Wilson is playing, but the Steelers got to win this game. The Steelers are going to play spoiler alert later on in the season, but in order for them to do so, they got to win some of these games like this. I don't care who's playing. Give me the Steelers.
Can I get the Steelers?
I got you, Darren.
Can I get the Steelers?
I'm gonna just say if the Jets give the Steelers problems today, Kenny Pickett better be taking some reps this week.
You're not lying there. Next game on the docket. Again, we gotta go quicker. Arizona versus Carolina. Intriguing game. Cardinals J.J. Watt tweets that he will play despite needing to have his heart shocked back into rhythm on Thursday. I don't know, man. I'm going Arizona for that reason alone.
Arizona, man. Arizona for me. Put me down, Arizona.
I have
Two Heisman quarterbacks going at it from Oklahoma.
I'm going Arizona for that reason alone.
Hey, two first overall picks.
Oh
Give me
my God.
give me Arizona. Give me calamari.
Listen, somebody that's gone through that experience of having to, get some reset, little machines put on the chest here, all of that stuff. Good. I don't know I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know why he's having to do that, but obviously he has abnormal rhythms in his life right now. So, is that a factor? Should he be playing? I don't even know what to say anymore, bro. I just go ahead, man.
Hey. All right, next game on the docket, Packers versus Patriots. Brian Hoyer is starting in this game. It doesn't matter who's not playing for the Patriots because Brian Hoyer is playing. Packers. Vic, Germ, Trav,
Packers.
MJ. Okay. Next game on the docket, you got Denver versus the Raiders. Listen, man, this game should be really well. Speaking of spoiler alerts, Germ, you talked about it. I'm going with the Broncos. Raiders. Y'all got to win something eventually, I think. Germ, I'm going with Broncos.
Hey, I'm going with the Broncos too, but I'm going to say this. Denver, if y'all don't score 20 points today against this defense, I'm on the line with John Elway, and we're going to start talking about this $200 and some million. We're going to start talking about it.
Jerry picking the Jets by 15. Damn. Big good.
Give me the Broncos and Russell Wilson to break out today. They have a chance to bury the Raiders to an 0-4 start. Come on, Russ. That's it. Come on, Russ. Come on, pick it up. Find those receivers because they're open.
MJ?
Give me the Raiders.
Yeah.
At some point, they got to win. And
I was just about to say that.
Hey,
Give
the
me the Raiders too.
And the Broncos is actually, another 3-and-out team that we need to. This is 3-and-out bowl part 2.
Hey, I mean, listen. The reality is, Derek Carr with the weapons that he's got with Devontae and Darren Waller, they should be able to cut it up against any defense in the league. So
Right.
I understand why you will go with the Raiders. Last game, we saved the best for last. You got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait a minute.
I missed
You
one.
got Cleveland and the Falcons.
Oh, I forgot about that game.
Yeah, I know.
Myles Garrett is out. Give me Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Give me Atlanta.
Listen, this is reason 365,620 through a wide. I can't stand the fucking Falcons. Let me tell you something. And another thing, Cordarrelle Patterson played 5 positions. He played kick return, punt return, receiver, quarterback, running back, H-back, fullback, 7-back, 10-back, wing back, wing T. I'm sick of it all.
And he's questionable for this game.
Hey, but you want to know the sad part? The Falcons, with him and Mariota, is 4th in the league in rushing yards. But Cleveland's number 1 at almost 200 a game with Nicholas Ebenezer Chubb. Give me Cleveland.
Your Cleveland Browns need to take care of business. Point blank. Period. All right.
I'm just listen. I just want
to. They should be able to destroy the Falcons right now.
Vic, but that's reason 3,563 why I can't stand the fucking Falcons. I'm sorry. That's the reason 3,602 why I can't stand them is because Deshaun Watson didn't pick y'all. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, Drake London, for anybody on fantasy purposes looking for a receiver, I expect a bigger game today. The kid is progressing every single day. Great rookie wide receiver, first-round pick for the Falcons. I expect Kyle Pitts to get a lot of attention defensively from the Browns. So give me some Drake London, man. I think he'll have a good game today.
Hey, anybody
MJ?
playing against the Cleveland Browns secondary, start them.
Give me Atlanta.
MJ, who you got?
Give me Atlanta.
I got you. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to the crew in Atlanta. Trav.
I got 27 and 24 touches the ball at all times, man, for Cleveland, man. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah, MJ.
Incorporating just the human element of the game. They're gonna be bored in Atlanta. They went to the Blue Flame last night. They're gonna be sluggish, man.
Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Cleveland. Either one way or another, I'm still going with Cleveland. Last game on the docket, you got the Chiefs versus the Buccaneers. We're gonna have to dim the lights here a little bit. Dear Gisele,
Oh, Jesus.
you can't keep doing this. You have to put selfish needs aside for a second.
Let me play.
Okay, now we understand you have done this for the last 15, 17, 20 years. But we are just asking you to do it for a few more months. We have unfinished business to tend to. And after that, he is yours for life. For life. You got him. No more Sundays, no more practices, no more two-a-days. You got him for life. All we asking you is for a few more months of compromise. I mean, the man is 45 years old. There's a hurricane going on. He's got to wonder where his kids are going to be, how they're going to evacuate. Are they going to be safe? Is my house going to be flooded? And on top of that, you got to add this. You are his backbone. You need to be there for him. You saw what he went through last week. He had nobody to go home to. We are just asking you, come on home. Let the man be great again. Give me the Buccaneers by 4. Vic?
Give me the Buccaneers too, man. I think Kansas City, after last week's loss, they didn't look too good. You got Mike Evans coming back. You got Chris Godwin coming back. You got the possibility of even Julio and Donovan Smith coming back at left tackle.
Julio's back too. I don't know about
They all back. I
think everybody back.
Bro, everybody offensively back, so it should be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. But give me the Bucks.
Shouts out to Mo for the 1990s version of begging. Like, that was some real begging in the 90s. That's why I had to sing End of the Road. That was some begging. Like, I ain't heard that type of begging since the End of the Road.
Amen.
So, because Tom Brady is going to the end of the road, y'all got to keep up with me, man. These bars.
That's it.
So
that's it.
Go ahead and give me the Chiefs because I am rooting for this football to move forward. And somebody is going to have to take the crown when age 45, number 12 steps down. Somebody got to take the crown. When he steps down, somebody got to take the crown. I want Mahomes to do it. Give me the Chiefs.
I dig it. I'm more than dig it. I love it. Vic?
I already went. Bucks.
It's Jern.
Oh, Jern, my bad.
You'll never find. No matter where you search, no one who cares about you the way I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby. But I want you to know that no one else. Give me the Bucks. You'll never find.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, Trav. 1 minute and 45 seconds to kick off. Go ahead, Trav.
Winning cures all.
Amen to that.
Winning cures all. Now, here's the point.
It don't cure her.
Not just it's how you win. We won against the Saints. That was ugly.
MJ won the whole show right there. Good night.
Yeah.
Won the second game. Drama.
Yeah.
Lost the third. More drama.
Yup.
You beat Kansas City in a nicely fashion. You may get the keys back to the house. Let's go,
right.
baby.
You're
Let's
right.
go.
You're not lying.
Winning
you
is
are
key,
not lying.
but how the way you win can get you back home.
Brady might get the garage opener back after tonight. He just might.
With the couch and the sheet already tucked in.
Hey, as long as we in the house, man. This man has to make hurricane plans, and the kid's not even with him. That's not right. And he fighting with Russell Gage and Rashad Perriman. Come on now. Closing thoughts before we go, fellas. 30 seconds to kick off.
Hey, Gisele gave him that honey-do list a little bit too early. She should have eased that list in around October when it was official. She gave it to him in the summer. That's a rookie move, Gisele.
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something. When a Latina woman has had it, it doesn't matter what is going on in the world. Okay, right, Vic?
Hey, at this
100%.
point, I just hope that she don't go sleep with Marcus Jordan. That's all I'm rooting for at this point. Just don't go sleep with Marcus Jordan. Or Future.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna leave those bars alone because like 7 bars just popped in my head. I'm gonna leave it alone. We're gonna skip it. Okay. I am Mo Schefter. That is Vic Jr. That is the uncopycatted Myron Jenkins. DVR's our Trav. True Man, False World. Take us home, True.
22. Enjoy the games.